Yo, I'm Andrew Tourmaline, and I write without apology for the yellowest rag in this red Martian colony, a state that claims to be a bastion of peace and equality, but it's fallen victim to the weaknesses of human sociology. Our founder, James Brassfield, came down in a crash landing to lay the foundations our nation was demanding, and pardon me for grandstanding, his long-standing commanding was outstanding, but the circumstance of his demise defies understanding. And I've written as such, but my publishers can it, and they reject every article before they even scan it. They say it's for the public good, that they have to ban it, that I've got no proof, but I don't need proof, damn it, there's something rotten in the state of this red planet. And anyone can see it, cause it sure ain't common for the president to die of a heart attack in his garden on the eve of our founding in peak physical fitness from an off-planet poison without a single witness. Am I really the only one who wants to inspect this? Well, okay, here I am at the first interview on my checklist. Oh heavens, another hearse-chasing reporter. Well, I suppose setting the public straight would be in order. I did not kill my husband, I loved him most dear, as I expect you to write in your news, is that clear? Yes, ma'am. Oh, James was the grandest of men, he was the first I loved, and I never shall again. I remember every minute from the first night we met, to the day he flew off into the sunset. I'll never forget, he was dead set, didn't fret, he'd been prepped for any threat since he was a cadet. And when I look upon this state crafted through his sweat, I can't be upset, he would feel no regret. What greater vignette could a man beget than a whole planet as his epithet? Is that enough of a statement for your gazette? Not quite. I have just one query. You say Brassfield was your first, but I clearly remember reading in a bio about your life that before you met him you were a pilot's wife. Now, for some reason, the paperwork on the flyboy is quite checkered. It's almost like he's been stricken from the public record. So please, just so our paper doesn't have to presume, could you shed some light on this mysterious groom? How dare you, sir, spread such lies uncouth? I wasn't aware your paper cared so little about the truth. I've only ever been married to the founder of Mars. Now, I believe I'm quite done with this business of ours. Well, that could have gone better, but I'm nowhere near done. I thought there was no witness, but it turns out there was one. A set of strange footprints matching the shape and height of Brassfield's favorite servant, Ramon Diorite, was found in the garden on the morning of the murder, and now the young man's in jail on pending court order. Maybe he'll be more receptive to a sympathetic reporter. If you're here for a confession, you might as well leave. I'm being scapegoated and my rights paid no heed. Brassfield loved me like a son. I'd served him since I was 10. Why would I kill a man I considered my friend? It still breaks my heart to think he's deceased. I found the body. I called the police. Please, calm down, kid. I don't think you did it. And if you're telling the truth, you'll no doubt be acquitted, but I did come hoping to get a bit of a clue on the footprints in the garden. Did they come from you? I don't know about these footprints to which you refer. Then can other people verify for that day where you were? Yes, every minute until I found the body at 3:45 and got arrested the moment the first responders arrived. Thank you for your time. No, thank you, Tourmaline. I truly hope you get to the bottom of this crime. I'm serious, I truly think the kid's innocent. By all accounts, he was perfect, loyal, and diligent, but that puts me in a bit of a predicament because there's nobody else known who was part of the incident. So instead, I'm going to focus on the other participant, our esteemed Earth-born late Martian president. Hello, Dr. Blueschest. Mr. Tourmaline, the pleasure is mine. Welcome to my home. Would you like some wine? I'm good, thanks. Your parents worked with Brassfield on Earth, is that true? My mother was his doctor, my father, who knew? She never did say much about her time with Sir James, even after he went off and found such fame. See, unlike me, she did not give interviews, but I've got her old papers if you'd like to peruse. I very much would. Could I buy exclusivity? It's free for a man of your capability. You see, we Martians have to look out for each other. From what? From the businessmen on our celestial brother. You've never been to Earth, unlike me. You don't know of the cutthroat profiteering that is their status quo. They created this colony only to mine this planet to fill their bottom line. Earth has more than enough resources, yet they still take ours, and why do you think they won't build again on Mars? I don't know. Why? You'll find out in time if you continue to delve into this paradigm. I'd love to, but you were the end of my trail. Speak to the Earth's liaison, Sandra Shale. Thanks for the tip. I'll be on my way. Of course. May the sun shine on you today and every day. Now, this is the point where things got a bit tense. Shale was telling me things that made no sense, and when I demanded answers, she took offense, and it turns out her security spared no expense. So now I'm arrested without trial or pretense, trying to come up with any possible defense. Andrew, welcome back to this jail of ours, twice in so many days. Who knew that Mars was so small, though this time you are standing on the other side of the bars. Look, Joan, can you drop it? I've had a rough day. Rougher than the woman you chose to waylay. It's all in the papers, everyone knows it, and the general consensus is you should have chosen a more polite way to get your grievances across. Oh, that reminds me, here's a letter from your boss. Tourmaline, I hope this letter finds you in good health and with plenty of time to reflect on yourself and the skeletons you've cast into the public light without a shred of proof that you're in the right. Such recklessness betrays our professionalism and candor. We are not a newspaper of unsubstantiated slander, and since you so publicly strayed outside your dominion, we'd no choice but to convict you in the court of public opinion. So please, consider this a life lesson, not a complaint, to choose your future stories with a bit more restraint. Man of riddles, he ain't. No, Joan, this is great, don't you see? If they'd thought I was barking up a wrong tree, I'd be fired. But instead they just suggest that I keep my cards a little closer to my chest. I suppose that's one interpretation. So does that mean you're continuing your investigation? Yes. This is more than just an expose. This is bigger than Mars, and it's not going away. Somebody killed James Brassfield, a man universally loved. What the hell is their plan? I don't care what people think. I've just got to see who's pulling the strings in this conspiracy. Now am I free to leave? Oh, we don't have a cause to detain. You were just keeping me company. Good night. Same. Alright, now I just gotta catch the night train, get back to my flat, and read through those papers before... What was that? A trap. 2 thugs assault me in an alleyway, knives out, no niceties, and they say if I don't hand over my papers, they're gonna leave me for dead. I hit them with a brick instead. They didn't appreciate that. Said I'd pay the price, wrestled me to the ground, stabbed me twice, and long story short, I probably would have died if Joan the police officer hadn't saved my hide. Andrew, are you alright? Who the hell was that? I'm fine, I think. You got a tourniquet? Here, let's head back. There's first aid in my station. God, maybe there's more to this situation than I feel comfortable having to believe. Did you get any clues on what they hope to achieve? No, and even worse, now they know who I am. I won't be able to do anything without these damn shadowy freaks breathing down my neck. Well, what exactly did you expect? You've made it so obvious what you're pursuing, your enemy can tell everything that you're doing. I know you think this story is your Citizen Kane, but you're going to wind up with a bullet in the brain. Okay, look. Jimmy Basalt was this middle-aged bloke, lived downtown, yesterday died of a stroke. His family's on Earth, he lived alone, and 'cause your thing got so overblown, I forgot to tell the press. And that's the only reason why I could pull some strings, let you live as the guy. Keep doing your research, no one will know, and maybe you can find out who's running this show. I took Joan up on her offer, continued my progress, under another name, at a different address, and as I dug deeper, uncovering more unsavory things in our colony's lore, this plot I was researching grew and grew, infecting everything I thought I knew, and the piece de resistance, the last thing I discover, would change the future of Mars forever, smother our history like a giant umbrella. But to find out what, you'll have to read the novella.